Hey everyone, I'm Russ and I'd like to welcome you to the TheFlyBox. On today's show, we will be discussing one of the most simple yet effective flies found in our fly box, the San Juan worm. What's more natural to think of as fish food than the common worm or nightcrawler? Prior to taking on the frustrations and challenges of fly fishing, for most of us, our first experience of chasing a trout came with a fishing pole, a split shot weight, and a coffee can full of worms. With that in mind, the San Juan worm is a great choice when building a simplified and effective fly box to cover most all situations. There are a great number of worm patterns available at any of your local fly shops, and undoubtedly all of these worm flies will manage to catch fish. What's so brilliant about the San Juan worm is its utter simplicity. Take a bare hook, add a little weight, and thread on a piece of chenille. It can't get much more simple than that. If you want to get fancy, add a bead to the fly for a little bit of extra flash and weight. There will probably be numerous variations of the fly available at your local fly shop. The fly normally ranges in sizes from about a size 8 to a size 12 and will be available either with or without some sort of bead on it. Personally, I like to fish a beaded San Juan worm. I don't know that it really makes a lot of difference, but it just makes me feel better. And hey, what's better than a happy fisherman? I feel that the weight of the bead helps the fly get down in the water column quicker, so that you can put your fly in front of more fish. I normally have red and brown worms in my fly box, and sometimes the occasional purple. I'm pretty sure though, with enough searching you could find San Juan worms available in most any color you want to use. The San Juan worm was developed years ago on the San Juan River in New Mexico, and has since become an important part of a lot of fly boxes. All waterways have some sort of aquatic worm population, and the worms make up an important part of the diet of any trout. With that, the fly pattern can be found throughout the country in most watersheds. While the worm pattern can be an essential part of any fly repertoire, it does not come without some controversy, of course. The fly has a large following of fans, but there's also a large group of people, we usually call them purists, who would not be caught dead with a worm pattern anywhere close to their favorite stream. For them, the idea of fishing a worm pattern is the equivalent of chucking a nightcrawler and has nothing to do with fly fishing. For the rest of us, we just like the act of catching fish. So with that in mind, by all means, tie on your favorite worm pattern. The San Juan worm lends itself well to being fished, just as you would any standard nymph. I like to fish the fly in an upstream and across casting position. The fly should be fished at a dead drift, low in the water column. A lot of people fish the fly with a small split shot placed about 6 inches from the fly. That placement puts the weight at the stream bottom while allowing the fly to move naturally along just above it. My choice is normally to fish the fly without the added weight, which explains why I find myself usually fishing the beaded version of the fly. I like the extra weight that the bead adds to the composition of the fly. On the drift, be sure to let the fly swing below you in the current as it comes back across stream. A lot of trout will be caught as the fly swings below you in the current. Depending on your confidence level, you can fish the fly either with or without a strike indicator. I like to fish with an indicator myself. In most of the waters we fish, I normally place the indicator 4 to 6 feet from the fly. Common rule of thumb says to place the indicator 1.5 to 2 times the depth of the water you are fishing. In our part of the country, people fish the San Juan worm most any time of the year. If there aren't any bug hatches going on or any visible indication of what the fish may have on the menu, then the San Juan worm is a good all-around attractor pattern to experiment with and see what's biting. Many people will use the San Juan as the lead attractor fly in a 2-fly setup with a small nymph or scud trailing it. Obviously, there are as many ways to fish a worm fly as there are worm flies to be fished. Don't be afraid to tie on a San Juan worm and head out to your favorite stretch of trout water. We're sure you'll be happy you did. Thanks for joining us, and we hope you come back as we take a look at some of the other flies we have hanging around in our fly box.